Hello, Yellow Jello people! Fundo here, and today we're doing something more unique. We're doing a reaction. Well, sort of. It's second time reaction because I watched the original first whilst I was on vacation with my parents and stuff, and I couldn't record the actual reaction because they're doing something I love about the Smash Record team is that they're doing a crossover Collesseum, which is basically just allowing people to get their dream matches, the versus show, and is basically every episode is a community thing. And since I literally had just done a video about matchups that I want to see done it kind of felt fitting for me to, participate. And as I would have done this not as last minute if it weren't for the fact that I was on vacation when Joker State came out. I was waiting for Joker State to come out to do this. Because I didn't want to do it on an episode that I already watched. And I already watched this, but I haven't watched it. I watched it once, and I haven't watched it ever since. So it's not like it's completely fresh in my mind or anything. I let a decent while happen because I wanted to still have some reaction, though I still do know some things. So let's get started.
Who would win in a fight between Joker from Persona 5 and Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid? I'm Ink and this is Smash Bracket, the show where we put every character from Super Smash Bros. Into a giant animated tournament to figure out who's canonically the strongest.
Let's get into it. Previous
Ever
episodes.
Since humans have been speaking, they've been telling stories. These legends often revolve around heroes who stand in the face of even the most sinister evil as a beacon of hope to those around them. One of the greatest modern hero tales is about the Phantom Thieves of Heart, who fought corruption wherever they found it and protected the innocent. And it all started.
So, fought corruption where found it and protected the innocent. These are also high schoolers. I find it funny, they fought protected the innocent. They also fought God. Twice, technically, these guys did. 3 times before it comes strikers, the strikers list of God.
With an unassuming Japanese high schooler named Ren Amamiya. Ren lived a pretty standard small-town life, but his whole world was turned on its head when Ren came across a drunken man assaulting a young woman. He immediately jumped into action and pushed the man to the ground, saving the woman. But unfortunately, it turned out that the man that he'd pushed over was a powerful political figure in the city. And soon Ren found himself arrested for assault and forced to leave his hometown entirely. He moved to
That's kind of that's something I always thought that. Is that a more cultural difference? Damn, you get arrested for assault and now you're banned from your hometown. Also, why ban him from his small hometown into the bigger city of Tokyo? You're going on probation in this bigger city where there's more people where you could commit crimes, even though of course he's innocent. We all know this, but logically, wouldn't it make more sense to keep him in probation in the town rather than send him to this big city?
To a new high school in Tokyo and lived in the attic of a coffee shop. But despite the new environment, Ren found that he was far from being able to have a fresh start. Rumors quickly spread, and his reputation of being a criminal followed him, causing everybody that he met to see him with a distorted lens. Everybody, that is, except for his classmate Ryuji Sakamoto. Much like Ren, Ryuji had also been unfairly beaten.
I'm not even sure about this, but I'm pretty sure Ryuji technically is his classmate. An is his classmate. Ryuji's from a different class in the same year. So his schoolmate, not classmate, technically. Very nitpicky, I know. 0 out of 10 episode. I'm joking.
Beaten down for speaking out against corruption in high places. In his case, it was the local gym teacher, Kamoshida. This guy beat down and threatened anyone who questioned his authority as a gym teacher, and would regularly assault his students. As Ren and Ryuji swapped stories about the adults who had wronged them, they suddenly found their school looking a lot more evil castle-y than usual.
Don't you hate it when you go to school and they set up this entire medieval thing without you knowing? Also, this makes me remember people were saying depends on our Snake beats Joker outside the metaverse, so maybe Snake has a chance that literally the start of the game, they wind up on the metaverse by accident. like Ryuji, I'm pretty sure like before Ryuji gets Captain Kid, before he can enter the metaverse on his own, Joker like brings Ryuji back into the metaverse, like and even if then, like, isn't the whole reason why Aang gets captured because like she was close by and got accidentally taken to the metaverse? Like that was never a question.
Usual. What had once been a normal Japanese high school was now a massive fortress, protected by armed knights and ruled by Ryuji's gym teacher, Kamoshida, who had seemingly traded in his gym pants for a crown and cape. Unbeknownst to them, Ren and Ryuji
he traded in more than just gym pants.
Which in this world isn't a creepy VR offshoot of Facebook, but rather a mere dimension shaped by human consciousness.
I wish that the metaverse was a Persona metaverse over the Facebook one. Like, I'd probably die in it, but at least it'd be cooler.
We can get into the logistics of this a little bit later, but for now, all you need to know is that Ren and Ryuji were within a physical manifestation of Kamoshida's evil desires, a place called a palace. And in this twisted reality, each of Kamoshida's corrupted thoughts were actualized. He was the king and everybody else was there to serve him and him alone. Upon discovering the pair, Kamoshida restrained Ren and beat Ryuji as he prepared to execute the two. But even though the odds were totally stacked against him and his chances of victory were almost none, Ren refused to—
I can't wait for Persona 6 to come out and have another castle as the first dungeon, considering that just seems to be the theme. Like, Persona 3 is like the exception, but even then, like that's because like the Persona 3 dungeon was like one huge tower. Like Persona 4, castle. Persona 5, castle. Persona 6 is gonna be castle again. Yeah. I'm putting money on that.
To sit by
I'm not.
and watch an
I don't have
innocent person
money
be hurt.
to put on that.
Unfortunately, he just wasn't strong enough to rebel by himself. And it was at this low point, when all seemed totally lost, that Ren heard a voice within himself, offering him a new power if he would vow to use it to destroy evil wherever he saw it, no matter the source. And by accepting this, Ren awoke to the power of Persona. This new power allowed him to manifest a physical form of his own desires, which in
a stand? I'm not, no.
his case was an abstract version of Arsene, the gentleman thief. And together they fought to take down Kamoshida and free Ryuji from danger. And with this newfound power, Ren soon helped Ryuji awaken to his own persona. And with the help of some friends they met along the way, they swore to destroy the evil desires of corrupt individuals and leave society for the better. As a group, they—
I really like how they included the rest of like the strikers and like royal people that aren't normally in this scene. Like you can tell that they were added in because like they're not in the same style, but like if it weren't for that, you wouldn't tell.
took on the name the Phantom Thieves of Heart. As a Phantom Thief, Ren became known as Joker. While Ren was somewhat meek and reserved, Joker was brash, stylish, and left his mark wherever he went, announcing his targets with calling cards. Joker would use his power to change the hearts of the evil and force them to confess their crimes to the world. Now, while he can change someone's desires, to truly understand how Joker's powers work, we need to dig a bit deeper into Persona lore. So settle in and make a bowl of ramen, because things are about to get complicated. At the
This is like my favorite part of the video that I remember, like them going deep into Persona lore for Joker. It was like even as a fan who only got in like more recently, I got in watching people play Persona 5, and I've played Persona 4 Golden since then, so I'm not one of those fans that have claims to be a Persona fan without having ever played a Persona game. I have played a Persona game. Just not the one that got me interested in the series. Still love Persona 4 Golden though.
Core of all reality, beyond space and time, exists a place called the Sea of Souls, also known as the collective unconscious.
Oops.
This dimension essentially functions as the hub of all human cognition. Before people are born into the world, their souls are formed here, with a deep connection to all humans who came before them and all who would come after them. But it's not just human beings who are formed here. Every single legend, every story, and every thought that a human ever has had or ever will have are also stored here, and they take shape to match human perception. For example,
which just makes me wonder, like, if the Persona games, like, actually, question, like, Futaba references Smash Brothers in the original Persona 5, like, it's called Smash Sister, it's called Super Club, it's called something different, but he references it, which implies that the rest of the Smash cast exists. Technically speaking, does that mean Joker could use Snake as a persona? Because the idea of Solid Snake still exists in the collective unconscious. Like, could he use all the Smash cast as a persona? Like, I know like it'd be kind of difficult considering like for like in public, but it is a PlayStation exclusive. Like the Persona main games, at least usually are. Like, why will they do something fun like Atlas or like do some Atlas properties like add other Simiga Intensity protagonists? Add Sonic. Like we had Sonic and Morgana and Joker in like Sonic Forces and Monkey Ball. Why not add Sonic as a Persona? Like it fits in the law. Add Aya as a Persona. That'd just be cool.
Ancient humans heard a thunderstrike and decided to tell the story of Thor, the god of thunder. Thor would begin to take shape as an actual entity within the collective unconscious. These beings shaped by human thought are called demons, and they can be summoned into the...
I wonder how many messed up thoughts like go manifested in there. Like damn, like just a few random people share one messed up thought, and then boom, Satan.
Metaverse and material world in a variety of ways. One of these ways is through their connection to each individual human's cognition. Every single person has a part of their personality that they wear as a mask for everybody to see. For example, on YouTube, I put up the appearance of being upbeat and outgoing, but people also have aspects of their personality that they suppress. For example, I think that we should put more fruit on pizza besides just pineapple. This suppressed part of oneself is called a shadow. And in the metaverse, a shadow can take shape into whatever demon most closely fits it. By confronting one shadow, a person can harness the power of a persona, which is like the ultimate manifestation of somebody's personality. Anything and everything could be a persona, but the most common ones come from real-life folklore and legends. Joker, for example.
So yeah, like anything and anything. If I imagine enough about my coffee table, could my coffee table be a persona? The most powerful persona of all. A coffee table. That makes you like me more questions. If like the story of Joker and the Phantom Thieves becomes like super thing and become a public unconscious, does then Joker become persona because of that? The story is being spread around them in the collective unconscious, resulting in the thing. Also, I just realized how this video is gonna be way longer than it might to be, so I'm gonna start like pausing it and only talk when I have like things to talk about.
Example, believes that somebody's social status should exempt them from needing to live a good life. And so his persona manifested... Oh, I love copy.
Sherlock Holmes. I'm good. Another thing about Persona 6 probably going to be announced relatively soon because of the Persona 25th anniversary. I'm 100% certain one of the main cast personas is going to be Sherlock. Like, there's gonna be another detective prince like Naoto and Akechi. Their persona is Sherlock. Like, cause it just fits so well. Like, and now I'm pretty sure Sherlock is in the public domain, so they don't even have to go for Sherlock Holmes. Like Capcom did.
Copyright law. While most people can only manifest and use a single...
They just brought up the thing about the wild cards. I kind of like before it. It's actually funny that in the first two Persona games, everyone could use all Personas, and now they only the wild cards. Like, that just makes it fun. It also like the thing like people like say like, oh, Persona Q. Why does Persona Q include just 5, 4, and 3, or just 4 and 3, and then it only has 5 in Q too? Because like kind of make no sense. Like they're in the same world, we know that, but like. Oh, these people can like all use multiple personas always, like, cause like at least like it's like sacrificing one member being able to use a bunch of different personas for all members being able to use 2. In this case, it's just for the other teams, it's just enough.
Cards. Not only can he tap into the legends of Arsene, but he can also fight with some of history's most famous figures from legends and mythology, like Thor, Odin, Jack Frost, or even Satan. These different personas...
Jack Frost, everybody's favorite mythological being.
Can alter Joker's physical and ailments, but through a combination of training, careful cultivation, and an item called the Omnipotent Orb, Joker is able to make all of his personas completely immune to almost all damage in his game.
And this is something that like I was thinking like for Joker is great in Smash Bracket. Like, you have to have a attack that does not fall under any of these categories for even to hit him. Like, for example, like a water, like for example, let's go Greninja. Greninja could hit him because he's not immune to water. Because water isn't an element persona, so it would not. He's not immune to it. But like other like people, they that like for example Snake that don't have like a bunch of variety, and at least focus on like an element that Joker is not immune to. They're kind of screwed.
Including physical damage and gunfire. He can also give his personas a passive trait called Iron Immunity that makes them immune to status ailments like sleep, brainwashing, or being frozen.
And this makes things even worse for people that can't hurt him, because they can't even use things like the hacks, like the immunity to hacks also.
But beyond just immunity.
Also, the dodging lasers right now, they're serving the fight against a certain thing. They do not bring up anything from this fight against Snake, which just makes it kind of, because I know, like, again, this is my second time watching it, which is like makes me feel bad for Snake. They don't even bring it up, like Joker's strongest thing, and he still wins. Like, and not only does he still win, he still stomps.
Speeds. And Joker, along with the other Phantom Thieves, always make sure to use this speed as stylishly as possible, such as when they move so fast during an all-out attack that time appears to stop entirely. Together, the Phantom Thieves have used this power to take out the most corrupt people in Japan. Joker really couldn't have done it all alone though. His fellow Phantom Thieves are always there to have his back, either in battle like Ryuji or from the sidelines like Oracle. Joker's girl in the chair who can give Joker support from afar, like breaking down an enemy's strengths and weaknesses. That being said, even on his own, Joker isn't exactly helpless. He has an ability called Third Eye that allows him to see objects of interest, slow the perception of time.
There's something like also like I did not expect them to bring this up because like not many people really think about this when talking about Joker. This just makes me and just seeing this really makes me hope the death battle does not do Joker versus Jorno. No, because Joker versus Jorno is just hell. Because it's like I don't think anyone can beat the other.
Joker's weapons are incredibly deadly, if a little abstract, such as his Paradise Lost, a dagger formed from the biblical concept of the fall of Adam and Eve, or the Tyrant Pistol, a gun created from the concept of Lucifer himself being condensed into a weapon.
Yes. What is your weapon? The concept of Lucifer as a gun. I love Persona.
Stuck with so many people. Whether he's cracking out quasars, taking out tyrants, or dominating local food challenges, Ren has always had the same goal in mind. Screw the status quo and eliminate evil wherever he sees it, especially if that evil is masquerading as good and held by people in positions of power. And it's that exact devotion that will keep people coming back to the legends of the Phantom Thieves.
Now it's time for Solid Snake.
John F. Kennedy once famously said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." And throughout the decades since that phrase was first uttered, few characters have embodied the ideal of dedicating their entire life to their country more than Solid Snake. The story of Solid Snake is one of unwavering dedication and bravery in the face of insurmountable odds. But even a legend as wild as that of Solid
It really makes you feel like how the story of Metal Gear Solid is super deep and kind of depressing, and then it has all those ridiculous crap. Also, that makes hard to take seriously.
Solid Snake starts from simple beginnings. It all began with a young American soldier named John. The year was 1964. And
also, another thing I love is that everyone has the most generic name, like John, David, Jack. I just find that funny.
John found himself men making cat noises. While he was trying to extract his target, Naked Snake stumbled across the plans for a tank with nuclear capabilities called the Shagohod. Because letting our enemies have nuclear tanks...
You ever just be oh, okay, I'm in a mission to save this guy. oh, these guys are making nuke tanks.
Was low on the priority list of the United States, Snake's mission changed to include destroying the Shagohod for good. And this mission ultimately led him to face off with his longtime friend and mentor, known simply as the Boss. And after a heated battle, Snake came out on top and was forced to choose between friend and country, ultimately deciding to pull the trigger and fulfill his orders. The success of this mission, which came to be known as Operation Snake Eater, put President Johnson in the Naked Snake fan club. But because having a man named Johnson wear fan merch for Naked Snake would look...
Man named Johnson with merch for Naked Snake. That does not bode well.
Questionable, and to honor his past accomplishments, Snake was bestowed the name Big Boss and went down in history
kind of like a dick move, like, oh, you just killed your friend, who you refer to as the Boss. Now we're going to nickname you Big Boss. It's like, great, like, way to rub salt in the wound of him just murdering one of his friends. Give him the code name that was the same code name as his friend, but better.
As the greatest soldier to ever live. But John's mentor wasn't the only one to die during Operation Snake Eater. When Snake pulled that trigger, it killed a piece of himself as well. He became bitter and jaded as he disavowed the government altogether, becoming convinced that rather than having countries build up their own armies, the best solution would be to hire freelance military groups called private military companies, or PMCs for short, who all live in their own mini-country together. So he began forming his own freelance army with the help of some allies and his old medic, who became his body double and took on the name Venom Snake, operating as a second big boss. Now, the United States didn't love the idea of losing their self-proclaimed best soldier to ever live, so they came up with an alternative plan. If we can't hire Naked Snake, we'll just make a new one. So the government did what any rational person would do in a situation like this. They had a top-secret Illuminati group called the Patriots start an underground operation to clone Big Boss without his consent or knowledge. They called this project Les Enfants Terribles.
Y'all ever start a plan to clone of somebody? Just because you can? Also, like, if they had the knowledge to clone him, why didn't they do that from the start? Like he's your best soldier. Make an army full of him. Yeah, from like the beginning.
Les Enfants Terribles.
Les Enfants Terribles.
Which is French that roughly translates to create genetic clones of our favorite ex-soldier and hope they don't turn out evil.
Damn, I can't believe Google Translate straight up says all that.
So they took an old flame of naked snakes named Ava and fertilized 8 embryos. Of these embryos, 2 survived. Twins named Eli and David. Eli took on Big Boss's dominant genes and took on the codename Liquid Snake, while David took on Big Boss's recessive genes and became known as Solid Snake.
Where's Gaseous Snake? We have liquid, we have solid, where's gas?
There was also a third clone that was a perfect balance between the two and took on the name Solidus Snake and kinda became the president of the United States for a while. Metal Gear lore is weird, y'all. From day one, Solid Snake was raised to be the perfect soldier. He trained from a young age and as a teenager joined the elite military
I just really love
known as
relatives. Snake, and snake, kind of. Like, because Metal Gear, everyone is Snake.
Where he was trained by none other than Big Boss himself. Under Big Boss's tutelage, Solid Snake...
Also, Metal Gear Pachinko's a fudge chatty sauce. I really hope, like, I know that it didn't happen. I really hope, like, Snake, for some reason, like, Snake destroys the multiverse in the Metal Gear Pachinko. So that Snake wins because Metal Gear Pachinko. That would have been really funny.
Snake learned gunmen, but generally struggles to sneak past enemies at more than a few miles per hour. Things like this make him feel like a pretty grounded, if skilled soldier, until Metal Gear randomly decides to turn him into Neo for a few cutscenes and have him jump fast enough to keep pace with a spray of bullets, and then make him fight a vampire, only to return him back to being a semi-standard spy thriller character immediately after that. But even through all of these absurd shifts in tone throughout the series, Snake has always been somewhat superhuman. He's able to punch strong enough to send grown men flying through the air, and he's durable enough to regularly shrug off bullets and explosions, which he can heal from incredibly quickly. But although he's explicitly superhuman in his stats, Snake's true strength comes from his equipment and his strategy. Let's start by talking about his strategical abilities.
Like, this is what, like, things about Snake's style are, like, really surprising me.
Snake has been able to fight and defeat enemies that, by all measurements on paper, he should have had no chance against. Among these is the telepath Psycho Mantis, a soldier who could read his thoughts as they fought, and should have been virtually impossible to even hit. And while in the games you beat Psycho Mantis by changing your controller to the Player 2 port, in the official animated graphic novelization of Metal Gear Solid, we can—
Also, like, I never knew, like, that's how you beat Psycho Mantis? Who knows? Like, is there a thing that tells you that? Cause like I never played Metal Gear. The only Metal Gear game I own is Metal Gear Rising, and I still have yet to play it because time. Yeah, so like I was so like when I first heard this, I was like, huh?
see some more context as to what this looks like from an in-universe view. Snake was essentially able to notice even the most minute details being off, and was able to capitalize on that to beat the Psychic. And this strategical ability is only enhanced by his codec system, a communication system implanted in Snake's ear that allows him to instantly communicate with his support team at a moment's notice. With their help, Snake has taken out legendary snipers, killed Big Boss's body double, Venom Snake, with nothing but a lighter and a can of hairspray, and demolished the machines this entire franchise was named for. Metal Gears. While the Shagohod was a tank capable of launching nukes, Metal Gears were like you took those same capabilities and combined them with a Gundam. These things were made to dish out and take serious damage, but Snake has been able to take them out time and time again. And not only has he destroyed them, but
kind of like feels like we made these giant death robots. One person can destroy it. If they're good enough.
Snake has actually piloted a Metal Gear of his own before, known as Metal Gear Rex. This brings us to Snake's equipment. Over the years, he's amassed a huge arsenal of weapons and tools. Now, I should note that while we can't scale Snake's physical feats to those of other clones of Big Boss, after all, they've had very different upbringings, and a major theme of the game is that people are far more than just their genes, so compiling them would kind of fly in the face of that. For the purposes of today's battle, we've composited the arsenals of each playable version of Snake across the Metal Gear franchise. Not only do they all play similarly, but they've all also had the same weapon supplier for a time. Snake has carried a variety of guns, grenades, and missile launchers over the years, but his most iconic is definitely his tranquilizer dart. A headshot from one of these bad boys can instantly put his target to sleep, taking them out of the fight entirely. He also has several other non-lethal options at his disposal, such as sleep gas, smoke grenades, flashbangs, EMP grenades, and Playboy magazines that he strategically weaponizes to distract his enemies.
He should have used this. That would have absolutely worked on Joker. Or like if we're going by if the harem route is canon and is like we're considered canon, like realistically probably none of them are canon, but like is either none or all canon? Either none or harem. Like that's my thing like when it comes to Persona. Either it's a harem route's canon or none of them are canon. Canon, but if we're going by the harem route, then Joker absolutely would work for this, unless Joker has immunity to Lost. Joker might have immunity to Lost.
Enemies. Yes, that is real. Defensively, he also carries around a pill that allows him to fake his own death, containers to hide in like his signature cardboard box, and several inflatable decoys of himself, complete with a voice box and high-grade explosives. But one of the most surprising tools up his sleeve is the Fulton
Like this thing, I remember watching like Snake vs. Sam before this. Like they didn't realize all this in Snake vs. Sam. Like it wouldn't fit at all in the fight, but like at least they could have brought it up.
Extractor. This thing can yoink enemies into the air and send them straight to a battleship loaded with highly armed soldiers. But if pulling your enemy into the sky like a discount Christian Bale isn't doing it for you, Snake's research and development team have developed this technology even further, allowing Snake to suck his enemies into wormholes that can even be launched from rocket launchers, removing them from the battlefield.
Yes! Portal gun!
Field entirely. And this is where Snake
really was GLaDOS.
He's no stranger going up against near impossible odds, but he's always been able to find a way around it by using his incredible strategic ability and ingenuity. But let's see if that's enough to let him take on his opponent for today, Joker. But first, if you want to help support what we're doing here and keep our small—
I really love seeing like the little tidbits of the fate of like future fights to see like we're seeing this bit of Link vs. Resident
channel
2.
alive, consider joining us on Patreon or YouTube membership. Each episode of Smash Bracket on average takes us over 200
Also, Wolfenstein is taking place in a bar. Like this is not what I expected. Considering all the other Star Fox episodes had, like, the characters, summon their vehicles to help them fight. I did not expect like Wolfenstein Cinema to take place in an enclosed area.
Hours to make as a team. Ad revenue is hard to sustain on a series.
We're seeing saw bits of Wolfenstein Cinema. We saw bits of Rosalina versus Robin, which is this one, and then also Blink 182.
Series that takes so long to put together, so having your support on either of these platforms is really the single best way you can help keep these episodes coming and make sure that we're able to finish this project all the way through to the end. But with that out of the way, let's get into the fight to find out who will win this round of the Smash Bracket and who will be disqualified. Let's get into it.
All right, team. Is everyone ready? Today's the day.
Excellent. I've been looking forward to that buffet I've heard so much about.
What? We're taking down a bad guy today.
So, just because we're running out of time a bit, I'm going to skip the whole fan of thing. I love the fact they did this. It really makes everything it feel more important. But we're kind of running out of time here, so I'm gonna have to skip it. I'm sorry. I watched it through the van. It's really funny. These things about that, especially the thing about Yusuke, the fucking eating a single bowl of ramen across a week. I'm not gonna skip all the codec thing though, because those are more important to the fight itself.
It's showtime. I don't see him.
He probably already knows we're here. Stay sharp.
Otacon, you didn't tell me we were gonna have to fight a bunch of kids in cosplay. Should we have dressed up for the occasion?
This is no laughing matter.
I really love the idea of Snake coming into this fight dressed up like, I don't know, Joseph Joestar. Just for fun. It would have been fun. The idea of Snake in cosplay fighting all these people seems funny.
Snake, those are the Phantom Thieves of Heart. They may look like children, but they are incredibly dangerous.
So what have we got on them?
Well, it's a little hard to pin down. There is a lot of conflicting information online about these guys. Even my normal information channels get thousands of hits for even vague search terms.
Like drinking from a virtual fire hose. Someone wants to hide in plain sight.
It does seem that way. But fortunately for us, I was able to put together an algorithm that checked for the credential of each page's author.
Smart.
You are looking at Carmen Takamani, Mo Kamatari, and Lupin Susanoo, aka Panther, Queen, and finally, your target, Joker.
Joker? And you said this was no laughing matter. So what can he do?
The Phantom Thieves feed on cognition. They absorb your fears and guilt to grow stronger. Keep your head on straight and don't trust your senses. Things may not be what they seem. You may think you are safe, but even if a single attack catches you, that will be your last surprise.
Ha!
Sneak around, take them down, don't get hit. Sounds easy.
Just be careful, okay, Snake? You saw that message. You know this isn't a standard mission. Watch your back.
Got it.
Reveal yourself, Snake. It's no use hiding.
I really love the inclusion of Makoto and An in this, because it allows Snake to have show off his incredible stealth skills by just taking them out of the fight immediately.
He's here! Something is interfering with my signal. I'm going to try and get around it.
I am going to say that it kind of makes sense how Otacon was trying to interfere with Futaba, considering Futaba uses Persona. I don't think that works like a normal hacking computer connection system. So Joker just doing this to Snake.
You're done.
For the first, I'll say this for the end.
You're going to need more than illusions here, kid.
Snake just kicking the shit out of this little girl. the Showtime from Strikers.
Archon, you didn't tell me this guy had nanomachines.
I haven't seen nanomachines like this before. Even Foxhound isn't this advanced.
He just created a demon snowman, and I don't think his name is really Lupin. Or Alice. When I touched him, my arm felt like it didn't even connect. Even when I was punching that girl in the dress. I hit her, but it just felt weird. I don't think I'm actually hurting them.
This is a problem, but nothing you can't handle. You have fought foes stronger than you before. Use your head, be creative, and whatever you do, don't...
And cut. I almost had to use both of my hands to crack that one. That was a nice little communication jammer you hooked up.
You're pretty good. One of the...
He said it! He said the line! That was the one thing like I was saying before this episode came out. They better include have Snake or Joker say you're pretty good to the other. And they did it. Well, he didn't say the Joker, but he did say it. And that's enough from me. You're pretty good.
Phantom thieves, I presume. Perhaps Mo Kamatari?
Dude, Mokamatari is a copy. You guys took my fake leaks hook, line, and sinker.
I love the fact that Futaba tricks them with fake leaks, because that's just the Futaba thing to do.
You've really got to check your sources.
Well played.
Admit it, you got outplayed. I know everything about you, David.
It seems like you did your homework. You knew about Otacon, and you got around our communication jammers. I'm just wondering what you did about the mobile nuclear launch pad sitting right outside the building.
Nick, why would you tell her this? You know she's coming with Joker. Like I know you think like that they can't stop it, but like why not just try and use it before telling them?
Nice try, Snake. I've got the exact GPS coordinates of every Metal Gear on the planet.
So you don't...
Also, that's another question. How did Futaba get the exact GPS coordinates of every Metal Gear on the planet?
No. Just one button press and this building is gone.
You're bluffing. I've seen the military's logs.
Not everything is documented online, kid. And about that jammer, we always bring a spare.
They included Kirby dying. I thought they didn't because they didn't include the Minecraft Battle Royale, their first 3D fight, but they did. I guess because they wouldn't fit in as well there. How did Kirby even get there though?
Let me show you the power of the wild card. Arsene!
I find that really funny, Joker. Let me show you the power of the wild card. I'm using my starting persona. The one that I got before I knew he was with the wild card. Arsene just moving is so fast, like this time stop.
You're mine!
Beat him up!
And
that was great. I love this. It's like surprisingly little jank for their first like more proper 3D fight. Like the first one was the Minecraft Battle Royale, but Minecraft Battle Royale, the benefit of using only Minecraft characters, jank is kind of how it's meant to be. Like what usually would be jank is how you're meant to do in Minecraft because it's meant to be more jaggedy and more stiff movements. So like for their first proper 3D fight, this is great. To like compare this to other like versions just for first 3D fights, and like this is probably the best one.
there you go.
Let's have a
This
look at
fight
the
was
original.
just not close at all when looking at stat comparisons. Snake could send grown men flying through the air, destroy giant Metal Gears, and survive deadly explosives. But Joker was just operating on a different scale. Take a look at how their best strength and durability feats line up, and there's almost no comparison to be made here. Joker was also way too fast for Snake to handle. Even if we disregard his ability to dodge lasers, he's also moving around at Mach 17 during his all-out attacks. He was also able to entirely negate all of Snake's most reliable tactics, including non-lethal methods of incapacitation like sleep. He could also use a persona to reflect Snake's own bullets back at him. And this is a shame because Snake really would have had a decent chance here if it weren't for those negations. Snake is a master strategist and manipulator. He easily had the edge over Joker in this department and could have talked himself into a scenario where he probably could have surprised Joker with a sleep dart or a sleep gas, but Joker would just be able to shrug it off. And his lethal strategies were non-starters as well. Even if we let Snake have access to a Metal Gear, it just isn't even close to the kind of damage output that Joker is used to dealing with. Ultimately, Snake's only viable win condition would be to remove Joker from the battlefield entirely, with his wormhole extraction device or the Fulton. But pulling off a maneuver like that would require some serious speed that he just doesn't have even with the most generous interpretations of his feats. At the end of the day, Joker was just way too fast and way too strong and durable for Snake to even touch, and he also shut down any non-lethal win condition as well. Joker is the winner and will be moving on to the next round of the Smash Bracket. Next time on the Smash Bracket.
Ken versus Terry. So last Cody thoughts. Yeah, it was kind of a big stomp. But I wonder who, something I always wonder about at the end of every Smash Bracket is who they're gonna put up against this next winner. My guess is probably either Cloud or Hero, depending on who wins. Because it fits the JRPG character fighting. I'm gonna be honest, when they first started showing the preview of Joker vs. Snake, I didn't see Snake. I thought it was, and based on the scenario, I thought it was Cloud. And I thought it was Joker vs. Cloud before I saw the list and oh, it's not Joker vs. Snake. They can. So that's a thing. I'm excited for Ken vs. Terry. I literally just watched a death battle for the first time recently. And as final words, I'm just gonna say it's kind of funny. They didn't even bring up Yana Boeth and Satan Nile. I was honestly what I was predicting for the finale for the kill is Nick getting the Metal Gear, Joker summoning Satan Nile, and then doing how Yana Boeth got the shot for the head, but with the Metal Gear instead. But even that, this was still really cool. It included the rest of Phantom Feast, which was something I was not expecting. But yeah, this was my reaction / review / whatever you want to call this of Joker vs. Snake. Might do this for other episodes in the future, might do actual proper reactions later. But I'll see you all next time. Goodbye!